The answer is 6 people altogether. 请问是吃中餐还是西餐? May I ask, will you be having Chinese food or Western food? The answer is Chinese food.
请问几位就餐？
一共6位。
请问是吃中餐还是西餐？
中餐。
May I ask, for what time? 几点钟? 7 p.m. is the answer.
几点钟？
今晚7点。
May I ask for your surname? 姓李，李红，红色的红。My surname is Li, Li Hong. That's her name. To be clear, she says, it's the Hong that means red. Li Hong, the Hong that means red. So the response is, to confirm the order, Mrs. Li, tonight at 7, 6 people for dinner. 今晚7点，6位就餐。Tonight at 7 p.m., 6 people for dinner. Thank you.
请问您贵姓？
免贵姓李，李红，红色的红。
好的，李女士，今晚7点，6位就餐。
谢谢。
When Liu Ming returns, he asks, have you made the reservations? She says, yes, I've reserved tonight at 7 p.m. at the Four Seasons restaurant for Chinese food. He says, 四季中餐是上海菜，太甜了。The Chinese food at the Four Seasons restaurant is in the Shanghai style. It's too sweet. He explains that Lao Zhang, Old Zhang, and his family are northerners. He says, why don't we take them out for hot pot instead? Hot pot is a very popular dish in northern China. 那去东来顺吃涮羊肉. Then let's go to 东来顺. 东来顺 is a very popular old restaurant in Beijing. To have lamb fondue, 涮羊肉.
李红，订好位子了？
订好了，今晚7点，四季餐厅的中餐厅。
哎呀，四季餐厅是上海菜，太甜了。老张一家呀是北方人，请他们吃火锅怎么样？
那就去东来顺吃涮羊肉。
Liu Ming says, okay, I'll make a reservation by phone. And Li Hong says, 我也打电话取消定位. I'll also make a phone call to cancel my reservation.
我打电话定位。
我也得打电话取消定位。
Now let's talk about some of the cultural background issues involved with the topic of food and dining out. Of course, this is a topic that we could talk about for hours and hours. Chinese food is well known all around the world, but there's a great deal of variety of Chinese food in different regions of China. It's very hard to summarize in just a few minutes. For instance, in northern China, flavors tend to be saltier and heavier, whereas in southern China, they're perhaps lighter and sweeter. Other areas of China, especially Hunan and Sichuan province, really like their food hot and spicy. Now, pork is a common meat all across China, but coastal areas especially really love their seafood. And other areas of China, for cultural and religious reasons, prefer to have lamb. Rice is a common staple in many parts of China, but other places prefer noodles and sometimes steamed or even fried bread. So, a lot of variety all across China. Now, Beijing is the capital of China, and you'll find that different styles of food are very well represented here. Of course, many people believe that you should still go to the place where these dishes originated to get the true authentic flavor. But you can still find them in Beijing. And of course, Beijing has its own style of food. Perhaps the most famous dish from Beijing is Peking duck. Now, Quanjude is probably the most famous Peking duck restaurant because it was founded in 1855. But nowadays, there are many very excellent Peking duck restaurants in Beijing. Peking duck tends to be crispy on the outside and juicy, fatty on the inside. Maybe not something you'd want to eat every day, but you've definitely got to try it at least once. Now let's look at some of the vocabulary in the lesson.
北方人。
忘。
忘. Forget. 忘. To forget about something. 忘不了 would mean I can't